Hello, and welcome back to the Art of Reduction. My name is Reeve Andrews, and I'm going to be your barber today. We got a great client today. His name is Josiah, and we could all tell that he has some really beautiful hair. Nice and dark, thick, has great texture, curls. But what's the coolest thing about his hair is that it's a lot straighter on the back and the sides, and it kind of ushers in to these curls that he keeps when he keeps a little longer. So today we're going to focus on how do we do a really nice tight bald fade, maybe even a little drop fade on him, but also ushering in and keeping a lot of those curls. So let's go ahead and dive on in. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of get him draped up. Josiah is one of my favorite guys to cut. Unfortunately, I don't get to cut his hair too much, just our schedules kind of contradict each other. But every time I get this family into the shop, it's always a blessing. It's always great. They're good guys, but more importantly, they make my haircuts look really good because they're good looking kids and they have some very, very unique and beautiful hair. So if you notice, we've had a couple kids on this season, and I just can't stress enough how important it is just to have a shop that really creates an environment where families feel comfortable coming in. One thing I pride myself with Bent is that we could have an older gentleman in, we could have a college student in, we could have an elementary age kid in, and they all feel confident. One thing you could really create a safe place for is the music that you play in your shop. I do encourage, one thing that we do at our shop that's a little different is that whoever's the youngest or the oldest in our shop dictates the music that we play. So if we have a bunch of young 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds in the shop, we could play anything we want, rap, hard rock, whatever. But as soon as a younger guy comes in, such as Josiah, or an older gentleman comes in, we're playing Led Zeppelin, we're playing something different. And you just don't want people to feel uncomfortable, especially if you have like a younger kid and his mom and her dad in there and the music's real vulgar. So the first thing I think all shops should understand and be diligent of is just being polite about the music that we're playing when we're cutting hair. So that's the main objective at Bent, is to really allow all people who walk in the door to feel welcomed, to feel understood, and to feel comfortable. And the more people we feel or make feel comfortable in the shop, I believe the healthier the barber shop, number one, the more longevity that your barber shop might be able to create. I take a lot of pride that there's college kids who love Bent, there's older gentlemen who love Bent, and they're sitting right next to each other getting a haircut together. That shows that you are talented. It shows that you are cool enough to kind of know the lingo of the younger generation, but also mature enough to be able to cut the older generation. And there's a lot of art in that, and I believe is understanding how to change your aurora, change your energy to best fit each and every individual coming into your chair. And once you kind of get that, when you realize, if a young frat boy shows up, I'm gonna act this way a little bit. But as soon as a police officer shows up over here, I'm gonna act like this. As soon as a doctor acts like this. As soon as a younger guy shows up, I act like this. And we're kind of a jack of all trades. But again, the quicker you can make your client feel comfortable and understanding that you are with them and you're trying your hardest to give them a better cut and a great service, they're gonna be able to relax. And the quicker they relax, the better and easier the service is going to go. So it's been a while since Josiah's had a haircut. So what I'm doing before I even kind of get to my fade, I'm just kind of taking down and trimming up these curls a little bit. So pretty naturally, I'm pushing it forward. I'm trying to keep a lot of this texture going. And more importantly, I'm just trying to keep them nice and saturated. So especially when you're doing a lot of scissor work, water's your best friend. So I'm just going to continually kind of add some water. We don't have a shampoo bowl here at the studio, so when the guys come in, they might be a little drier than normal. If I know I'm doing a lot of scissor work, I always shampoo my clients first. Just gets them completely saturated, and it really helps. So let's go ahead. I'm actually going to do a little thing because I want to mark off his bangs here in a second. His hair was just a little wild in the back, so I wanted to get a little bit better understanding of the shape of his head. So now that I have that, I'm gonna have you look straight up, 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 up. So when I put a comb on their head, all I'm doing is I'm trying to find that angle. So if you notice, nope, we're gonna look nice and straight. When you put that on, Where that angle meets his head, to me, that's his bang. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my little finger right here to show where that's at. And I'm gonna come straight across all the way. And I'm gonna mark off his bangs. Because again, to me, the bangs are the most important part of a haircut. Again, it's just the first thing your client sees. So if I go too short on the bangs or I mess up the bangs, he really doesn't care, I don't believe, what else I did to the rest of the haircut. Because again, that's the first impression that these gentlemen see when you get done with the haircut. So let's go ahead and boom. We're just gonna mark them off like that. And now I'm really gonna add quite a bit of water. You can look back just a little bit, Josiah. Thank you, sir. And again, we're gonna try to keep some curls, keep some energy on top, but we're really gonna focus on a really nice fade. But he has so much hair and such nice thick hair. For me to start really low and try to usher into all this hair, it would be an issue. I mean, could we do it? Oh yeah, easily could. But why make your life a little harder when we can make our life a little easier? So I'm gonna go through here and start working around this perimeter, around the occipital bone. Kind of coming straight up from his skull into the haircut. Again, I'm not trying to make it too round. I want it to be a little boxy for him at the moment. I could always round it back out if I want to, but it's hard to turn a circle into a square. It's a little easier to turn a square into a circle. So that's why I'm trying to keep it kind of nice and flat on the sides at first. Just coming straight out. So when I start I mean, 80% of this cut really is going to be the fade. This, what I'm doing right now, is little work. You know, I'm not really doing too much technically. I mean, it kind of might look like it, but really I'm just taking off not even half of what he has, maybe a little, just right around a half of the length that he has. Making it a little lighter, having a little bit more control. Those curls are gonna pop out nice. Go ahead and I'm gonna come right above where those bangs are. Now I'm gonna cut the mohawk section. My guidelines are the hair that I cut straight up and down. So that's what I'm trying to find as I kind of venture over and over. All I'm trying to find is where I left off. Keeping it nice and flat up here. Again, his crown kind of grows all over the place, so I want to kind of work with it a little bit. You know, if it's growing in different directions, I'm going to change my body. I'm going to change where I'm cutting to kind of create more of a smooth flow from the crown. Following my hurricane pattern, my wind pattern, finding his crown, and then I'm just following which way his hair grows from that crown. I don't want any alfalfas. I don't want anything really spiking up back here. And I'm gonna just work my way back forward. So I kind of like worked back, did the crown. Now I'm working back forward towards his bangs. 90% of my cuts, and most cuts are a little shorter in the crown. As we adventure forward, we're gonna gain and keep a little bit of length. And that's what we're trying to do today. So far this crown, this top is really starting to pop off. Got some texture, got a little bit more control. It's going to be a little lighter for him. His football season's starting up, so we need to make him nice and quick. And I want him to look good when he pops off that helmet when he does a celebration dance in the end zone. So if we could do all that for my boy, we're going to be living good. Again, I love point cutting. I love kind of just doing everything at once, taking some length off, blending, texturizing as I go, so I don't have to like come all the way back here and touch it up. I want to be one and done almost. And I personally just like checking off boxes in my head. You know, well, guess what? The crown's pretty much done. Here in a second, you know, the top of his head's pretty much done. You know, so these are kind of like the little boxes that I'm checking off as I go through my haircuts. And it just feels good to know that like I'm making progress, I'm moving forward, and it's starting to look good. If you can notice, I'm not really touching any of the hair that's in the bang area. I'll save that for last. Okay, I'm gonna drop my swivels. I'm gonna move to my 21 tooth Ettore Hanzos. I'm gonna have you look back a little bit. And now I'm just gonna point cut, kind of break up these sides a little bit more. Follow around his crown, break that up, kind of blend it, those sides into that top just a little bit more manageable. It's gonna give him a little bit better grow out time. Okay, so far so good. So now I am gonna continue saving the bangs for last. Close your eyes for me. Thank you, Josiah. I'm gonna add a little bit of water, okay? I mean, once I pop this up, you're gonna see how nice and thick his hairline is. So let's go ahead and really get this cleaned up. Again, take your time when parting out haircuts. We don't have to rush. Clean lines equal clean haircuts. I'm going to try to capture this little area right here. I'm going to come over here real quick. I'm going to try to do the exact same thing. Sorry, scared you. I'm going to lift your head up a little bit. Again, I'm just going to find that same part over here as close as I can. Let's go ahead and snap these bangs back a little bit. Look straight at me. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to dive into this fade. So I'm just going to kind of take a look at him. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've cut his hair. So I'm just kind of looking at everything, see how I want to attack this. Let's have fun with you guys. So I'm going to do a lot of clipper over comb today, especially at the beginning of this cut. Let's always start in the back. And I'm just going to, where I did my scissor work around the occipital bone, I'm going to work right below that. Okay, so that's my goal. I'm going to work right below. Taking down the bulk, I can start seeing my shape a little bit. And then what I will then get all my clipper work with my guards. So let's go ahead, we're just gonna slowly move them over, nice and flat. Just trying to stay right underneath of my scissor work. Maybe tilt, 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 tilt right there. Thank you, sir. Go ahead and just kind of keep you close to the... Let's go ahead and remove this stuff down here. Again, we're going to do a bald fade, so we will get more, we'll get tighter here in a second, but I just want to kind of see the cut. It's called the art of reduction because we're slowly dwindling down the shape of his hair to suit the needs that we want and for him himself. Let's go ahead and kind of come over here real quick. If you notice, he's kind of itching underneath the cape, so I always try to look at my clients. I want them comfortable, so if you see them itching, why not take the time just to blow off some of that hair, let them know that you're here, maybe ask them if they need to wiggle around or if they need to be cleaned up. So just always constantly kind of check in with your client, especially kids, they might, we don't want them squiggling too much, especially with these haircuts these days. When I was growing up, we had 3 different haircuts. You had like a buzz cut, damn near bowl cut, and then like some long ass haircut. And I guess those are the 3 you got. But now, man, kids these days, they understand what's going on. They see Instagram, they see these things on the internet, they see these kids with fresh haircuts, so they know what they want just as much as an adult these days. So we need to be ready to really give a very detailed and pretty haircut to a younger kid these days, because guess what? That's what they want. That's what they're paying for. So you got to be able to really hook these guys up, just so it just kind of keeps your name nice and clean. So there we go. It's simple. It doesn't look crazy, but again, with my vision, I could definitely kind of start seeing a shape a little bit more. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to do just a quick lineup. Nothing crazy. I'm going to get tighter in general, but again, I'm just here to try to see the shape of this cut as quick as I can, and then I'll really start my process of fading. Nice clean C cup. Again, I will go over all of this many times. This is just a preliminary, just slowly getting my shape, and we'll be very aggressive here in a second on how we attack this bald fade. Nice and clean. Again, I'm not trying to white wall him. If you notice, I have a nice control, especially when you're starting to use trimmers and we're getting into these areas where if he would move too much, it would really mess up our haircut, and we're not trying to do that to him. So if you notice, I have just a nice positive touch. Again, even little guys like him, man, they might have a little ear, peach fuzz on their cheeks. You know, their eyebrows might have a couple little strands that are not going the right way. I try personally I treat him as an adult. I'm gonna get every little hair that's not where it should be, and I'm gonna get it out of there, because when he goes to school, I want him having the coolest haircut out of all the kids he comes in contact with. He's my walking billboard in that elementary school, on that football field, and the better I can make him look more than his peers, I hate to say it, I just feel like I'm winning, and that's what I want to do. I'm here to win. I want him to win. I want him to feel confident in himself as a young guy. We need more confidence in our young men these days. So as a barber, that's what we get to do. We get to instill confidence on a daily basis behind the chair. And it's not even with our words technically. I mean, it could be if you could kind of marry the two together, if you could give a really beautiful haircut and also be able to kind of bless them with good positive affirmations, manifestations, talk about God, talk about the universe, however you want to look at it, and let him know that he's winning already as a human being. That's just there's a lot of power in that. So if I could kind of talk to him and lift him up, as well as give him a haircut that lifts him up, you guys, it's a sure bet that they're going to come back to you, they're going to represent you, and they're going to really love the haircut you give him. So now I have the two sides. If you look down, down, down. Thank you, Josiah. So now I have a fairly good rough draft of his head shape, of his skull. So now let's really dive in. So I'm going to really, let's have some fun. I'm going to kind of come up here, and I'm going to make a really harsh guideline. Go over here now, flip them over, tilt, tilt, tilt. Thank you, Josiah. I'm going to just come straight off this. Again, the harsher the guideline, the crazier the haircut looks halfway through, I swear the better the haircut's going to be. I know that sounds weird, but again, if you're making these really harsh contrasting lines that we have to blend out, that's going to look so good in my book. Yes, it's a little bit more work, but it's going to look really bad to the bone. So let's go ahead and take that bulk down. Again, I'm a big fan of trying to use as much as my tool when I have it in my hand as possible. I don't want to have to be jumping back and forth from tool to tool. That's going to waste time. Time is money. Time is energy. And, you know, I want to be able to save enough time and energy for my family when I get home. and for my employees that I need to uplift and my coworkers. So we need to just be smart and try to work efficiently as possible behind the chair. Again, this is not my tightest trimmer, so I'm going to pop it down for a second. I'm going to move to my tightest, which is a nice JRL trimmer. And I'm just going to take that down a little bit more. Let's go over here now. Take this down a little bit more. Next, I'm going to jump on a feather razor. Take this down a little bit more. Trying to stay within the scalp, not really trying to put any kind of metal on his normal skin. Especially with kids, it's a little softer, right? So I don't want to irritate him at all. I could go ahead and kind of just clean it up a little bit. It's very soft touch. Again, I'm using a feather razor. Hold it like a feather. I'm not gripping it like a bear. I'm literally, this thing could fall out of my hands at any second. Kind of allowing the tool to be the weight, to do the work. And really all I'm doing, I know those trimmers probably got all the long hairs, but before I move to a foil shaver, I really just want to make sure all those long hairs are off of him so it doesn't pull or hurt my guy. So now, foil shaver. Perfect. Coming around here. Tilt, tilt, tilt. Thank you, sir. I could hear hair being taken, so let's just be patient. All of a sudden, boom, no hair. Let's make sure there's no hair over here again. I could hear a little bit. All of a sudden, no hair. Awesome. Okay. So let's move to the back. I'm going to try to do just kind of step by step, and then we'll keep going. So again, jumping on my Torii Hanzos, I'm going to have you look straight down, 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 down. And let's kind of create the shape back here. So I want to be aggressive here. I'm going to do kind of a little half moon on him right now. Take this bulk down. Just so you're doing great. Thank you, buddy. Tiger paw kind of coming down. His hair kind of changes direction a little bit down here. Again, nice light hold, light touches. Don't want to irritate the skin. You need to make sure this is nice and even. Okay, next tightest trimmer, JRL. And again, it's all about creating a pattern, you know what I mean? So whatever I did on the side, guess what? Probably going to do the same thing back here. So I'm going to use JRL trimmer, feather razor, foil shaver, and then I'll be able to continue back up the journey of my fade. So feather razor now, again, nice soft touch. Main objective is just to make sure that there's no long hairs for when I jump on my foil shaver. I'm not going to pull or hurt him. Again, I always use a brand new brand new feather razor and straight razor on every client. Definitely important. Okay. foil shaver. Again, you listen to the haircut just as much as you look at the haircut. We're gonna go till we hear no hair at the bottom. Being patient. Again, I could be a lazy person as well, so my eyes are saying it looks great, but I'm hearing some hair, so I know I need to be a little more patient and just trust the process. Boom. Awesome. Okay, so let's have some fun here. So now we got our base. We got a nice shape going. I think this is gonna look really great. Now let's really kind of start working this fade out. So I'm going to do half guards open majority of this time, and we're gonna kind of start really working this fade out a little bit. So I'm working with the half guard open. I'm actually gonna switch to a little bristle brush instead of a comb. And my next up, what I'm really trying to do is just kind of create that next guideline. So let's just be patient. And I'm gonna try to keep it even. So a lot of time, I know there's stylists who will kind of work one side out first, then move to the other side. I mean, I've done that, I do that. I just feel this time around, I'm gonna try to, I think doing one side at a time is a little bit more advanced, I believe. I could be wrong. Maybe you guys could tell me in the comments. But I think to kind of help new guys, new people in the game, I would say try to keep it a little bit more uniform. Meaning, let's go ahead, once we feel comfortable here, let's go ahead to the next side and do the exact same thing. Don't be afraid to start moving that skin around a little bit. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna usher all the way back down. So let's go ahead and start over here now. Move that ear out of the way. Perfect, just being patient. Maybe tilt your head up, 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 right there. If you notice, I have a nice control on him. These are all pretty intricate swipes, every one of these right here. So I would just rather be patient. I don't want him to accidentally move and kind of ruin all the hard work that we've been trying to create here. So I'm going to now I'm gonna skip my half guard. I'm gonna move straight to a one guard. We'll hit the half guard here in a bit. And I'm gonna keep it open, okay? So let's go ahead and I guess let's just start on this side. Since we stopped, we'll move back in a second. So all the way open one guard. Just following the same pattern I just had. Moving that scalp in the direction I need it to be. Again, it does not have to be perfect right now. We're gonna run all the way back down these guards with way more detail, with using our lever, all of that jazz. So I know our brains are like, oh, that doesn't look good yet. That doesn't look good. Well, be patient, it will, because we need some of that hair to create our fade. So just be patient, trust the process, and know by the end of it, it's gonna be real buttery and very beautiful for my guy. So I'm not worried at one bit. Are there different ways to do this? There's 1,000 ways to do this. So this is just one way that I try to do it and have fun with it when I'm behind the chair. And again, there's 1,000 ways to bake a cake. As long as you get a nice, delicious cake at the end of it, no one's going to complain. So let's go ahead, one guard open, following that kind of little burst vibe I got going on. I could hear hair being taken, so let's just be patient. Again, does not have to be perfect just yet. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna skip my 1.5 guard. I'm gonna go straight to a 2 guard, open. And what that does when you're skipping those guards, it gives you a little bit more contrast. I'm able to jump up to a little darker length hair, what's going to really allow this haircut to really pop. Again, he's a very healthy guy. He has very beautiful dark hair. He has very, very healthy, perfect white scalp. So like, why not use that for your advantage to make this fade just really kick in to high gear and just look really good with how dark it's going to be in those curls and how pitchy white it's going to look at the bottom of this fade. It's going to be really, really cool. So like, that's what I'm trying to achieve here. Okay, there's one side. Same situation over here. Again, being patient. Okay. So now I'm gonna go straight to my 3 guard. This is where let's go ahead and blow them off. Close your eyes, Josiah. Thank you, sir. So now I'm gonna move to my 3 guard. I'm gonna stop jumping. Because I'm probably gonna stop right here. I'll probably do scissor work or blending shears to blend in the rest of this haircut to that length that we cut on top. So I feel confident that I don't need to jump any more guards. And here in a second, I'm gonna start transitioning down. And the transition down is where a lot of the magic happens. So let's go ahead, I'm just kind of run it back. I call it tagging it in. So if you notice, I actually kind of came around here real quick and just kind of tagged that topping. Because again, this is the last guard I'm gonna use until I use that scissor work to blend in. So I could kind of start creating that little shape back there, which I think is looking really good on him. Let's go run it back real quick, kind of see how we are over here. Up, up, up. Thank you, Josiah. You're doing great, buddy. Okay, so now I'm gonna slowly, I'll even jump to a different clipper, because again, that was the Wall Magic Clip, Wall Vapor, they're kind of cousins. This one I've had forever, so it's just a softer cut, so I was able to just kind of reduce some bulk. This bad boy right here really gets it a lot tighter, so I'm just gonna clip it. But now we'll be able to kind of see and hear a little bit better. So let's go ahead and blow. Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna have it all the way open, my 3 guard. And let's go ahead and let's stay on one side of the head so you kind of start seeing what I'm talking about here. So, yep, you can move around a little bit. So I'm gonna keep my 3 guard open. And every once in a while, I'm gonna just close that lever just a little bit. Every time I do that, I should hear just a little bit of hair being taken. A little tighter. A little tighter. Okay. All the way tight. 2 guard, all the way open. Following the same pattern that I created going up with. Watching which way his hair grows. A little tighter. I like to kind of comb up with my brush just to kind of allow those hairs to kind of spring up a little bit so that clipper has something to grab nice and neat. Again, if you notice, I'm kind of using my thumb to kind of move and make that skin nice and taut. So again, that clipper has something to grab onto. A little tighter. Listening to the hair, so I want to be patient. You've already gone this far. Why are we trying to rush anything right now? You know, let's just be patient. Let's be present. And really all I'm doing is I'm creating a blueprint for when I go to that other side. You know, it's just going to be a lot easier. Because, I mean, right now this is the first time we're doing it right here. So once I get the recipe down, I should be able to really just pop over to the other side with some ease and just follow the exact same protocol that I did right here. 1.5 open. I'm going to slowly lower it. One guard, all the way open. Okay, now I need to be careful that I'm not just moving his scalp all willy-nilly. A little tighter. I could hear hair being taken, so I need to be patient. A little tighter. Being patient, looking really good so far. Half guard now, all the way open. I'm gonna slow my swipes down a little bit. Allow that blade to really get in there. I mean, really, from what he walked in with till now, you know, I'm really thinking we're looking something cool. It's definitely going to be a different haircut when he walks back into his peer group and home. He's going to feel really good about himself is the goal. It's going to feel different, especially if he's starting to do football practice in the summer heat here in Indiana. You know, so not only are we giving him a really cool haircut with some style but we're also, you know, making his life a little easier, that he's not going to be so hot. on that field. So, you know, we're kind of killing two birds with one stone, and that's phenomenal. So that's my half guard. Now we're moving to a no guard. All the way open. A little tighter. A little tighter. This is where most kids fall asleep probably because it's pretty relaxing. If you have to open it back up every once in a while, that's fine. Don't be afraid to. Back to my trimmer. Whatever you originally put the guideline in with is what you're normally going to get the guideline out with. Kind of clean up this C shape a little bit more. Again, it's a pretty intricate haircut, so there is a lot of just different tools we've been using, but once it's all said and done, these type of haircuts is what stick out because of all the tools that you did use to achieve that. Someone who's just using a guard on their clipper, to me, you know, they're not going to be able to really achieve just the drop that this creates. The shape that we created just by using clipper over comb to begin with to kind of create our shape. Okay, I'm gonna use a little razor on you, so we're gonna sit real still, okay? So I'm gonna use a little straight razor action on them real quick. I don't like to talk when I'm using the straight razor, especially on kids. One of the most satisfying sounds in the world in my book. Perfect. So I'm gonna do a little detail work real quick. A little dark in this corner, so let's go ahead and kind of fix that. A little detail action, just using the tip of my trimmer to knock off any dark spots. He has a little bitty scar right here, so if it's like a little lighter and a little patch, you know, there's not much you can do about that. You just kind of have to just work around it, but you don't need to allow it to change everything about your fade if it's a natural little blemish that they have. Let's go ahead and knock this out over here. So now we're going to work all the way back down, if you remember. So I'm going to go pretty quick. I'm probably not going to talk much. We ended with the 3 guard open. So I'm going to kind of show you in real speed real quick. I'm going to tilt, tilt, tilt. you. Good stretch. I just want to say thank you to Trailway Studios and Henry Malone Media for just always the time and good energy while we're here. Can't thank all my models enough for spending the afternoon or evening with us here. And for all you guys watching, again, I do not think I'm the best at all. I think I'm here practicing right along with you guys. If you're in a shop or you think if there's a barber saying they're the absolute best in the world, they're a little full of themselves, because there's some people out there who've been cutting hair longer than we've been alive, who don't have any social media and are just straight killing it right now. So humble yourselves daily. I try to do the same with myself. We're here to practice. I think that's what life is about, is just practice daily, trying to better ourselves as human beings. And how do we better the people around us, our family members, our friends, our spouses, our coworkers, our bosses even. I have a lot of employees who make me a better person every single day. And I'm very thankful for that. So you're doing so good. We're about 75% done. So only about 20, we're getting close, my friend. His hair is pretty unique because, like, if you're looking, I'm looking at it now, like, I see a lot of brown in it and dark black, and like, we're moving. So there's a lot of transition going on right now with his hair and just the way his hair colors. So you got to give yourself a little bit of a grace that it's going to look awesome, but there might it might look a little different in areas because of the color. But when in doubt, keep blending it out. And I promise you, it really will just kind of melt together, and it's going to look really, really good on him. Okay. Yeah. Close your eyes. Is that better? Yeah. Thank you for letting me know. So let's work this little piece out in the bottom. Being patient. Trimmer time. Titus trimmer. Feather razor or normal razor. Close your eyes. Do a little bit of a full shaver. Now we're gonna work at the back, and I'm gonna kind of blend this stuff together right now. So for the back, I'm actually gonna start tall and work my way down. So I'm gonna actually start, I ended at a 4-guard back here. So I'm gonna do the same real quick. And I'm gonna blend this all together. And if there's little areas on these corners that I missed, which I saw, I should be able to get all that during this process, because I'm kind of doing like a rocking ship technique. So I'm kind of tagging in the fade over here, blending it into the back, kind of touching the fade over here. And I call that kind of tagging it into each other. Let's go ahead and blow him off again. He's getting a little itchy. Close your eyes. You're doing so good, brother. 3-guard, open. Because I want the back just to look a little different. I want there's some energy back here. I want there to be a little bit of length in that crown as we venture down. I just think it's going to be a cool shape. It's unique. It goes with his head shape. So that I'm trying to capture that. Again, I want my haircuts to look just a little different, and it really is because I started with those really harsh lines, and now I'm kind of blending into them a little bit. And I just don't think, just an average person cutting hair is going to create, a really unique, fun shape that goes really well with our clients' head shapes like this. And again, I just want him to feel good about himself. I want him, when he sees his mom tonight, I want her, she'll know, even if it was a terrible haircut, she's going to say how good he looks. But, I just want her to be wowed. I want him to feel good about himself. And I just want all my clients to feel good about themselves. I think building confidence, and no matter if they're the buffest, best looking person that's in your chair, we can make them feel more confident than what they actually feel. So you just remember that we have the power to really make our people feel good, and we should use that power for our advantage and for the world, and just to make the world a better place, period. I could hear some hair being taken, so let's be patient. Kids' hair is different. It's softer. So, I'm over here thinking, like, God, I have to do a million swipes to really blend this out. But it is. His hair's soft. It's dark. He has a very nice scalp. So, it is going to take a little while to get that blend looking really good. So, again, when in doubt, keep blending it out. Be patient. Yes, it might look better than most 90% of the barbers. The blend looks okay. But take it to 100%. That's our goal. Try to if the client's comfortable enough, and he's not wanting to get out of the chair just yet. So it's like, why not kind of take it to that next level and really try to make this thing pop. Even if your kid gets a little squirmy, if you have time to take a little break, let them kind of get up out of the chair, stretch it out a little bit, get back in the chair, knock it out. It's way better than just letting a half-ass haircut out the door. So just being patient, One guard, I believe. Yep. Down, down, down. Being patient. Back and forth with the guard length. Half guard. No guard. Whatever you put the line in with is what you're going to get the line out with. Titus trimmer. Detail, detail, detail. Feather razor. Good job. Foil shaver. Last but not least, just a little bit of a straight razor at the very bottom of this neckline. Okay. So now, remember, bangs are last. So let's go ahead and undo these. I'm going to add a lot of water to those bangs, okay? So just keep your eyes closed. Actually, do I want to line them up No, we're gonna take some length off and then we're gonna line up these bangs. You're doing so good. Home stretch, baby. So I'm going to attack with some chunky texturizers at first. This corner is a little thicker than the other. We're like up, right there. This side is just a little bit longer. Can you look at my nose? Up. Thank you. Really just breaking that curl pattern up a little bit. Okay, we're up. Yeah, good job. Just kind of tossing it up, just kind of trying to make it look natural. See where these things are popping down at. Okay, I'll map my nose again. I'm gonna blow you off here in a second, I promise. Okay, keep your eyes closed. Okay, now I'm gonna use my blow dryer, my feather razor. Kind of look, we're going to tilt back. And now I'm just going to use my toe or the heel of my feather razor just to kind of blend a smidge. Just, I want these curls, this texture to have some shape, some even shape. So if I notice any kind of thick areas, all I'm doing is just I'm taking that toe or that heel of that razor and breaking them up just a little bit, especially in this little back area. Up. Thank you. I'm going to come through and I'm just going to kind of hit the ends with my feather razor. Okay. Let's do some final touches on him. We're getting very close. So I'm going to take these Velcro stickers, Velcro clips, and I'm going to get these out of the way. Okay. I'm going to be very careful. And we're going to bust down some of this hair. Add a little bit of hairspray. That creates a little bit of tack. And I'm going to kind of just do a nice baby little lineup on him. Nothing aggressive. Good. One second. Up, up, up. Close your eyes. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit of hairspray again. Bring out my straight razor again. And in the end, his curls are going to cover majority of this up, but it will look so good. Bring back my feather razor. Add some water again. I'm gonna add a little bit of curl enhancer for him. Just a little bit of see one little area I need to get real quick. Again, detail is at the finest. I'm gonna get this little corner. We're gonna tilt up. Look straight at me. Dad, we looking good? Just a little more detail work and we'll get this fine gentleman out of here. Josiah, I can't thank you for being such a good. Well, hold on one second. I'm gonna kind of show you around. Guys, thank you so much for watching The Art of Reduction. I apologize because I was trying to do a haircut I haven't done in a long time, so it kind of showed that it took me a lot longer to kind of create the shape. But I think this haircut looks really awesome, really turned out great. Can't wait for him to grow and see the mirror and kind of see how that feels. I see a little bit of hair right here. So again, I can't thank you guys enough for watching The Art of Reduction. Josiah, thank you for coming out. If you like this, please subscribe. We have a lot more great content coming up. If there's anything I missed or you think I should work on, please let me know. Again, I'm here to practice with you guys. Again, this is The Art of Reduction. Thank you so much for watching. Keep cutting great hair, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, buddy.